the thing. Turn the music down. Play the game. Randomized. Do you use the good old games version of Silent Hill 4? I do. This randomizer specifically only works with this version of the game, regardless of if you wanted to play other versions. If you want to use this patch and this randomizer, you got to play this version. But this is a very good, very convenient version of Silent Hill 4 to play. I don't have to set up any capture stuff. I don't have to apply any patches other than like if I'm doing randomizer stuff, but even just by default, the good old games version of Silent Hill 4 is solid. Good. Although the randomizer patch, even if you're not going to randomize things, it does restore the missing hauntings for the PC version, because there's some hauntings in the PS2 version that are not in the PC version originally that this randomizer mod restores. So you can get this GOG version, get the randomizer mod, you can turn all the randomizer stuff off and just play the game normally, but enjoy the restored hauntings and stuff. This version looks really good visually. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's basically the original, because Silent Hill 4 originally had a PC port, but it only got physical released in like 2005. So physical copies of it are pretty rare, but obviously it's software, it gets pirated around. So that version by default is in 4:3 aspect ratio. Cutscenes play at 15 FPS. And there's a lot of other weird kind of jank with it. So it's not a great PC port. It's playable, but it's got some problems. GOG version basically took that port, that original PC port, and built in a widescreen mod so that it's 16:9 aspect ratio. So it's got more resolution support. They fixed the cutscenes so that instead of playing at 15 FPS, they play at 30. They tried to fix some of the control stuff. It's still very floaty, but it's not as bad as it was on that original PC port. So it's nice. It's not bad. They took that port and kind of cleaned it up. They didn't just like take the old software and distribute it, which is usually what GOG kind of does. So it was nice to see that there was some built-in enhancement stuff to it. This is like the only really easily available version of any classic Silent Hill game. I guess you can still technically get Silent Hill 1 on the PlayStation Store, but only if you've got a PS3, which for a lot of people now, fuck, I feel old saying it, but that's basically a retro console at this point. Not everyone's got a PS3 laying around. Hey, Rachel. Love you. Wish me luck. Okay. Where was I? Where are we? What are we doing? Hopefully someday they'll mod smooth 2D controls like in Silent Hill 2. Yeah. If the Enhanced Edition team was able to do the same Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition polish for every other game, that would be amazing. Oh, our character model randomized. So because I saved and quit the game, we get a different character model now. So when I started this playthrough Saturday, we were playing as Purple Dress Eileen. Now we're playing as Beta Henry. So in the beta version, demo version of Silent Hill 4 pre-release, this was Henry's original model. They kind of gave him the brown jacket and blue jeans, very Harry Mason-esque,
thou must return
before switching him over and giving him the white button up. So we're gonna have Beta Henry for the remainder of this playthrough. Am I going for the mother ending? I'm not going for any specific ending other than finish this ridiculously hard challenge run. Like, with this randomizer, you're not really picking an ending. You're doing everything you can to fucking survive and finish the game. Okay, Forest World. I really need... Well, I don't need it, but it would be really nice to get a pistol. I've already got a torch, but this should by default always be a torch, even with the randomizer. Yeah. So in order to prevent soft locks, certain items are still, like key items are still where they need to be. And since you need a torch to be able to get through this part of the game, this part is always a torch. But funny enough, we got a torch already as a randomized weapon earlier. So now we have 2 torches. Yes. Oh, there's Walter. He just spawned in. Hey, Shadow Noises. Oh, I'm gonna need to do some inventory clearing here. We need Eileen to come with us. Hey, she did it. Yeah, she's going to just be absolutely possessed because, like, all the random... Oh, fuck! All the random damage also hits Eileen for random damage, so, like, when she gets hit by something, she's basically fully possessed. You know, there's no way to keep her from getting possessed, really, in this. Although they give you more items to heal her possession... because this randomizer also enables some new items. Basically, there were a bunch of unused icons for things in the Silent Hill 4 game files. And Hunter, the maker of this randomizer mod, took those unused icons for items and things that didn't make it into the release version of the game and sort of made them into functional items. So some of those items include healing things for Eileen's possession. My cat says hello. Ziggy says hello. I don't know if my mic even picked that up. And I'm killed. Random damage from a bug. And I didn't have much health anyway. Do they actually heal her or just do it temporarily like the holy candles? I honestly don't remember. I know I tested this last year when this version of the randomizer came out. And I don't, honestly, I just don't remember. I want to say they are temporary like the candles. Isn't fair? please tell me you're close enough. Cool. She was freaking out, but she was close enough to the door that once you go through, she follows you through, even if she's in the middle of a freak out. She's too far this time, though. Shit. And I'm dead. I might actually need to... We might need to try to heal her just so that I could get her through these screens. Yo, what's up here, Amy? I could also potentially just leave her. That might be the better strat. I'd like to get her as close to this center area where the actual orphanage is, if possible. Oh, shit. Not sure where she is. Okay, well, fuck it. She's over there. Ooh, the bug dodges. God, there's so many fucking... I was hoping I could get close to him so that he lowers the gun and tries to melee instead. Okay, this is normally a silver bullet, but... Health drink. Okay. Gotta watch the VOD later, stuck at work. Alright, take it easy, Christophonics. Normally a health drink. See, here is the stuff that heals Eileen's curse. For possession level. Red Chrism, Eileen consumable. A strange red liquid inside an ancient-looking bottle heavily lifts Eileen's curse. But that's one of the... This icon for that bottle was in the game files, but it was never like a used item. So Hunter just took these unused icons and made them into something usable. This was intended in the game, or just the icon was in the game? Just the icon was. Hunter kind of made it based on his own interpretation of like what those things would have been used for. But as far as like information that was in the actual game files, it's just the icon. I burn them scam points. Put this away. I need the torch. I need as much inventory as I can get right now. I have to keep a Saint Medallion just because ghost proximity damage can it's all randomized, so. And I guess we'll keep the submachine gun for Eileen. I can't really take it off right now without running back to where she is. But yeah, Hunter added a couple new things to this. Some new weapons as well, like the Silver Pipe. This is a New Game Plus weapon from Silent Hill 3 that Hunter added in as a weapon for Silent Hill 4. There's also a Gold Pipe and something else. Hyper Spray? I think there's a Hyper Spray. The Hunter added some weapons and things. Try using it at the end in Super's room? Yeah, I mean, I can test it the same way I test candles. Isn't there already a spray in this game? Yeah, there's the bug spray. And I think the hyper spray is essentially just like a modified bug spray. King of candles. I have one. I'm getting rid of the window hauntings. I need to get rid of the hauntings that are near the save point, at the very least. I also don't heal in the room anymore, so I've got 4 ampules. Save. Okay. Nothing else to pick up here. I guess I probably should have dunked the torch in oil, but fine. Not actually necessary. But it can make picking up a few of these things easier. Don't murder me. Kill me, Walter. Don't kill me, bug. Alina's still over there. Some of these enemies are randomizing into, like, what they normally are. Isn't there normally here? Trying to remember where all these item pickups are. I know there's a one that's just sort of like sitting out in the woods. One of these screens. It's easy to miss. Oh. Everyone's favorite chocolate milk enjoyer. Could be a saint medallion. Isn't there? There it is. And it was actually a first aid kit. I'll take it, I'll take it. normally where you would get the chainsaw, since I'm also doing New Game Plus, but instead it's a fucking golf club pitching wedge. Should be an item here. Sword of Obedience. Touch me, you fucking ghost. Alright, save point out here. Ooh. Nub, if you don't mind, what is your history with Silent Hill? Did you play them when they released? Did you play them in order? I pretty much played every game in release order as they came out. I was already a horror fan in 1999. I was 11, and I was already, like, my mom didn't care what kind of stuff I watched and got into. She didn't care about, like, mature movies and games and stuff. So I was reading Stephen King books. I was a big reader, big nerd. Watching a lot of horror movies, playing a lot of horror games already. Alone in the Dark, Resident Evil 1 and 2. You know, this Silent Hill 1 was 1999. So 99, by that point, there was already a lot of other horror stuff out there. And I was already just kind of a big horror fan. So yeah. Started playing in 99, played the first Silent Hill, and it was it was basically the first horror game that was so scary I like had to stop playing. I was playing it with a friend, and we made it as far as Midwich in a few hours, and me and my friend wanted to stop. And then it wasn't until 2001 that Silent Hill 2 came out. Got Silent Hill 2 on release date. Played and finished Silent Hill 2. Absolutely loved it. And then wanted to go back and actually finish Silent Hill 1. Because as a kid, I didn't, you know, difference between being 11 versus being 13 is a little bit of a jump. So 2001, I enjoyed Silent Hill 2 a lot more. And then went back and finished Silent Hill 1. And really enjoyed it. And then, yeah, from then on, like, I've been a fan. Played 3 when it came out. Played 4 when it came out. Got Origins when it came out. Specifically got Origins when it got ported to PS2. I borrowed a friend's PSP to play the PSP version when it came out. But I didn't have my own PSP until like years later. So the first version of Origins that I bought was the PS2 version when that got ported. Got Homecoming when it came out. Got Shattered Memories when it came out. Same for Downpour. And then Book of Memories, similar thing to Origins. I didn't have a Vita when Book of Memories came out, so I played a little bit of it on a friend's Vita. But it wasn't until, on stream, when I bought the PS TV and everything back in 2017, 2018 was when I finally played Book of Memories. But no, I've pretty much just been a fan from the start. Castlevania was your first horror game? Yeah, Castlevania on NES. Loved that kind of stuff. Splatterhouse. The Splatterhouse games on Genesis. I also played a lot of PC stuff back in those days. So, of course, you had stuff that's kind of like borderline horror, like Doom and things like that. But then I guess more proper horror with like Have No Mouth and I Must Scream and System Shock and Seventh Guest. I put the torch away. What am I thinking? I still have things to collect. That's fine. I need to go back a lot here. I need to pick up a lot of items, stash stuff, save often. But yeah, that was kind of like my childhood. I liked a lot of creepy stuff. I loved Halloween. Like I was the kid that liked Halloween more than Christmas. Um, that was always like my favorite time of year when things are allowed to be spooky. Ooh, let me save. Goosebumps. Getting every single Goosebumps book. The Scholastic Book Fair. Scary stories to tell in the dark. Like, I'm telling you, from like a super, super early age, I loved scary things. I loved horror. Are You Afraid of the Dark? You know what's really funny about Are You Afraid of the Dark? So I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark a lot when I was younger. And much, much later, like just not that many years ago, I started watching a show called Letterkenny. And I was like really into this. It's like a Canadian sketch comedy, not really sketch comedy, you know, comedy show. Letterkenny's great. It's super fucking funny. And a lot of the people who are in Letterkenny started off on Are You Afraid of the Dark when they were kids. So if you go through the credits of Letterkenny and Are You Afraid of the Dark, you'll find that there is a lot of crossover. So you can go back and watch some old episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark and see some of the characters and some of the actors from Letterkenny as like kids, you know, doing other stuff. Because apparently Are You Afraid of the Dark was also Canadian produced. An item? Let me get that item. Let me get that item. Another first aid kit. Bro, get out of my way. The Outer Limits got you as a kid. Outer Limits was good. Twilight Zone. Oh. Used to get scared by America's Most Wanted. I mean, fair. Unsolved Mysteries. That was another good one. Growing up. Just like stuff that maybe not necessarily is horror, but kind of like horror adjacent. Thrilling fiction, non-fiction stuff. Oh, this is the first one of these during this run that we've picked up. So this is a Lord's Prayer Eileen consumable. A prayer written in an ancient language lifts Eileen's curse slightly. So this is the lighter version of curse healing item for Eileen compared to the red chrism, the big bottles that we found. It's funny that we found the better one first, but Seeing the Amityville horror as a kid for the first time in 92 got you into horror? Nice. A good one too. Oh, we got the doll haunting. Only a matter of time until the doll haunting happens. If you pick up the shabby doll. Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt was so weird, but I loved it. Oh, before we go... There we go. You can soak your torch in oil in order to make it burn longer for this section of the game, in case you did not know that. Because if you're like super familiar with Silent Hill 4 and this area of the game, you don't really need the longer burning torch. But if you're kind of newer to the game and maybe need some extra time, you don't want to have to backtrack and relight quite so many times, it can help. Oh, I just need to use this. Okay, this is big right here. This is a weapon. Oh. We got the chainsaw. I was really hoping for the pistol. Chainsaw's not bad. Pistol would have been better. Another Eileen heal. What Silent Hill scared you the most growing up? Silent Hill 1. Silent Hill 1. To this date, it is the only Silent Hill game where playing it for the first time, it was too scary for me to finish. Yeah, still no pistol. And inventory's full.
Walter Sullivan?
Apparently the animations for Beta Henry don't perfectly line up with the final release Henry model for cutscenes. So his hair is stretching to his feet. So it's fine.
Well, what about a mom or dad?
This is perfectly fine.
Yeah, but I never met him. They lived south.
Why was Silent Hill 1
Asheville
scary
Heights,
for you? Probably
right
because
after
I was
born.
11.
But soon I'll get to see my mom.
I don't know, like I said, compared to like Resident Evil and stuff,
Yeah,
something
of
about
course.
mainly
Right
the
where I was
audio
born.
design,
Lots of people tried to
the
stop
really
me,
droning,
but it's
like,
fine now.
imagine
It says in
doing
the
like
scriptures
all
about
of the
river. I
droning
gotta hurry.
industrial
Mom's waiting.
background stuff, music in Silent Hill 1, but listening to it on a CRT TV in like, 1999, where like the speakers kind of rattle and vibrate. There was something very otherworldly about the way that sound came across, that it wasn't anything like Resident Evil. It's all very orchestral. It's all the strings like dun 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 dun. It's all that really like movie music sting kind of music, and there's not as much of the more ambient tone, and the scares are very sudden, just like those string progressions are. Whereas Silent Hill 1 especially, it's just that droning background music that just feels like it's never gonna stop. And it just sort of like, your head sort of swims in it. And it fucks with you. It fucks with your sensory like perception, especially, like I said, given the situation, you're listening to it on like a TV where old CRT speakers are giving you that sort of buzz and rattle with a lot of those dissonant tones. it makes you feel weird. It had the tones of it made you feel weird. And as a kid, like, I didn't know how to process that feeling to the point where me and my friend were like, this is too weird. I don't feel like playing this more. And then eventually, like I said, a couple years later, played Silent Hill 2, loved Silent Hill 2, and then went back, finished Silent Hill 1, loved Silent Hill 1, and I mean, I was hooked. I was a Silent Hill fan. That away. Had a similar experience with Silent Hill 2 when you were 8, got spooked out by the knife scraping noise. Yeah, that's fair. Exactly. Audio, I think more than anything else, good audio design can do so much for horror. Like, I feel like you become desensitized to visuals much quicker than you do audio. So you can be seen, you can observe, you know, scary monsters and settings and sort of like gore and grotesqueries and things like that. And I think your brain sort of adjusts to the visual stimulus a lot faster than sound, especially the way that, again, Silent Hill really utilizes. Yamaoka has a way of using those very eerie, droning tones that, again, they sort of feel like they're never going to stop. Like there's something very strange about the way you sort of process repetitive tones like that. Why I'm so conflicted with Silent Hill 4, I think the themes and the ambience is amazing, but the overall production... yeah. I mean, Silent Hill 4, for me, at the end of the day, like, one of the biggest elements of, like, what I'm looking for in a good Silent Hill game is a good story. It can look like crap and play like shit and, you know, everything else. But if the story is good, it automatically gets a pass from me, like, at the very least. And Silent Hill 4 is one of those ones for me. Like I said, it's my 4th favorite Silent Hill game. But, like, it's not bad. Not by a long shot. This is an amazing game. But it's definitely got its flaws. Got its things that detract from it for me. But yeah, the story. Story is always the most important thing, and I think the story of Silent Hill 4 is fantastic. I think Walter Sullivan is probably the most well-written antagonist in the series. It's one of the few times where you actually get so much context for your antagonist. Who they are and what they're doing and why they're doing it. Everything is very well explained with Walter. Already got this. But it makes you more understanding of his character, and it makes, I don't know, it makes the writing, as said, 4 has some issues with its story and its writing. It's got a lot of things in supplementary materials that I really wish would have been in the main game properly. But all of that together as a whole, the story that it tells is very good. Even if I think there's some elements in the gameplay that are not ideal. Nobody, thank you so much for that Prime resub, 65 months. Very much appreciated, Nobody. Thank you, thank you. This one? What Silent Hill scared you the least? Does Ascension count? Because, I mean, out of everything bad, and not scary, like, I laughed more. I think if there's any sort of opposite to horror, to scary, it would be comedy, right? I laughed more during Ascension than any other Silent Hill game, I believe. When does Ascension start again? It's happening right now. It never stopped. Well, it took a winter break, but that was just for like December and January, first part of February, and then it came back. I just don't follow it anymore. I just don't keep up with it anymore. But Ascension is still happening. It's still going to be happening until August or so. With a couple more holiday breaks planned. All right, let's go get Eileen. Let's go save the game and get Eileen. Watched out of curiosity and they were still looking for Faith in the metal thing. Recently, I think that got resolved. Faith and Orson have been found, but now everybody's doing weird, creepy smile things. I don't know. All I see is what the official Twitter account posts. I don't go and watch episodes anymore. So apparently stuff is being resolved. Things are happening. It still doesn't have anything to do with Silent Hill, but like, I don't know, something. Children, these characters disappeared. Now they're there. Now they're back again, but they're being weird. All right, what all do I need? Got a weapon, got a heal. Need a saint medallion if I even have one. I do not. That's bad. No pistol, no saint medallions. No maidens. We're about to go get our maiden. Short Message was the best game with Silent Hill in its name for a while. True, but that bar is pretty low. And Silent Hill is literally mentioned twice. Once in the title and in one note. So it also kind of barely counts as a Silent Hill game. Get up, Eileen. Get up, Eileen. Gonna start shooting. Thank you. See them boasting about how many downloads Short Message has gotten on the PS Store. Of course, it's free. Exactly. Basically, anyone with a PlayStation 5 would say, why not? It's free.
I'm a police officer from Brand.
Download it, play it, uninstall it to make room for whatever your other game is, you know, just shit you want to have. But, yeah. Tanoshi, welcome back. Thank you for the 5 months. Thank you, Tanoshi. Oh, you know what? Let's... Well... No. I'm trying to figure out, is it worth it to give her a healing item? You know what? She's freaking out. Oh, God. Proximity damage. Okay. Okay. Give her one of each. She's very possessed. Is Konami going to recreate the PT controversy by delisting Short Message and removing it? I mean, I don't think that's the intentions, but who knows what'll wind up happening? There you go. Look at that.
Just horrible.
This is just horrible. See, she's so much better now. What's up, Techie? Proximity damage, more like approximately a lot of damage. Both apply. It can be both. What is that noise supposed to be while the while the elevator's descending? There's like a high pitch like it sounds like I forget the name of the tool. You can tell I'm not like a mechanic. But you always hear it in like auto shops. The like take the tires thing that takes the bolts off the tires. Very quickly. Pneumatic wrench. The thingamabob. You know. You ever watch a car race where they go into the pit crew and the pit crew takes out the thingamabobs and it goes vroom, vroom, and they take the tires off real fast? You know, that. It sounds like one of those while the elevator's coming down. Describe it to you like I'm a fucking 4-year-old. I'm sure somewhere in the recesses of my brain, I know what that tool is called, and I just drawing a blank. Superpowered riveter. Oh, this could be bad. Hopefully I can make it out of this room with this shirt. Okay. Okay. Pardon me. All the Walters. Oh my god. Yeah, kill that monkey. Beat that monkey. Oh shit. I just need to go. I just need to go. All right. Wait for Eileen to get down here. Walter. Randomize the animation speed on the death animation. Could take a second, could take a minute. Just draw out Henry's death scream for like a full minute. If Walter was found under the floor, he'd be Floorter. Do I have any mods? Ban that person. Don't. Oh my god. I'm gonna get murdered by these fucking bugs. I hear her footsteps. Oh, of course. All right, get up before Walter fucking shoots us. Oh, here. Healed up some of her curse. Okay. Damn. Well. Oh, that's such a bad spot for a haunting. Okay. So we need to have Eileen moving and grooving. I need some heals. I think haunting damage is also randomized. Yes. I'm going to need a sword of obedience. Oh no, I don't have a single saint medallion. Oh man. Okay, there's some rooms that we can check that have some items. I need at least a candle or a saint medallion for dealing with Andrew. Because I don't have any ranged... Well, I do have a ranged weapon. My ranged weapon is Eileen. I have a gun. My gun is a submachine gun, and only Eileen is allowed to touch it. So I guess we could try and play this, like, to get Eileen to kill Walter, or, excuse me, to kill Andrew, and then I just run up and pin him. Oh, man. That's still gonna suck without a saint medallion or anything. Okay. Heal, heal. Use shirt. That is such an unfortunate thing to get. Right. And I'm getting haunted. Yeah, we've got kid in the closet, dolls at the inventory chest. Something is now haunted close enough to the save point. Probably the chair. The painting. Is the TV just managing to reach all the way over there? TV and clock? I didn't think that reached the save point. Shoes went back to normal. Okay. This sure is a situation. We're gonna have to see what happens, kinda. So let's just heal up Eileen.
It's so damp and gross here.
I'm gonna unequip and re-equip her gun just to kinda make sure she's good. I want to randomly touch a leech going through the door. Deal 99 damage. Prepare for the ritual. The primal sacrament. Sacrifice the blood of the dead sinner. Okay, so this hallway is just going to be complete chaos. Because there's going to be a lot of just... There's going to be a lot of just enemies here. But don't worry, Eileen's going to get them. I did not mean to chainsaw Eileen. I don't even know why you can target Eileen. Eileen, please shoot your fucking gun at something. I think she gets very haunted when she becomes an auto-aim target. Oh, that like you start targeting her once she's possessed? Is that a thing? I'd never realized if that's like a mechanic or not. Eileen's considered an enemy. Oh, fuck. Eileen, shoot him. I need Eileen to fight Andrew. Walter, you're fucking this up. And I'm dead. Walter just one-shot me. Okay. Another strategy. We take her gun off. Go in. Go down the ladder. Fine. Go down the ladder. And we'll wait to see if she shows up down here. Okay, well, Andrew fucking followed us. I need Eileen to do the same. Here, enemies getting killed. The Walter randomized enemies will kill the other enemies, at least. Eventually. Oh, I heard Eileen. And she's down. How close did she get? She's like not even remotely close. Okay, I have collision with Eileen as Beta Henry. But at the very least, I can heal her and leave her here. There we go. So now she stays in that little room. Oh, I need to hopefully find something good. And not die in the process. Oh my god. Nothing in there that looks worth it. Here we go. Here we go. Holy Candle. Saint Medallion. Pistol bullets. Pistol bullets for the fucking pistol I still don't have. Yeah, Andrew DeSalvo. It's technically not a soft lock, but trying to do this, pin him with no silver bullet, no holy candle, no saint medallion. Another silver bullet, or excuse me, more pistol bullets. This dog's gonna fucking kill me. Wait. There is... There is an item. Should have seen that coming. Okay, that's fine. We've cleared the top floor. We know there's nothing worth it up there. I know, I should be able to just throw silver bullets and have them be just as effective. Just so we are clear, bosses are not randomized, right? No way we will fight a fly instead of Walter in the end. No, Walter is, as a final boss, is set. One truth is also still one truth. This game doesn't really have many bosses. This is where you normally get the Sword of Obedience. This time it's a health drink. I did not mean to use it. Okay. Holy candle. Holy candle, we could potentially get a situation where we could beat Andrew. It won't be easy, but that makes it a little more doable. Oh, you fuck. Since I found the holy candle, I'm gonna go save. And then check one more floor. It sucks that I can't use the candle to, like, help out with the room. Because I need everything I can to help with Andrew right now. Otherwise, you know, the run is over. Okay. Hey, Dr. William Freeman.
It's so damp and gross here.
You're damp and gross. Alright. Give me useful items. More stuff to heal Eileen. Ow. Second holy candle. That's a good. Nothing in here. Oh my god. Yep. 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 Okay. Well, I know that there is a second candle. Other than that, I don't think there is anything else here that can help. No other potential pistols I can get. We're pretty much going to see if we can make this work with a candle. Yeah, let's go, Ghost Eileen. For some reason, her animations bug out in this room, in this hallway. So sometimes she floats around like a ghost. Sometimes her ass becomes sentient and flies around the room. Oh my god. It killed me right as I put the candle down. The proximity damage fucking one-shot me as soon as I put the candle down. Oh my god, Eileen, we are just struggle bussing, aren't we? Neither of us can fucking hit anything. Okay, dog running into a wall. Helping out. This is massive. Here comes Walter to fuck it all up. Get him, Eileen. I really hate that there's not a way to, like, turn around. You can't just ready. Put the fucking candle down. Well, Andrew already fucking wandered off away from my one and only candle. So let me try and go get another one. There's one in here, and I'm dead. Eileen's Uzi's one of the added items. Nope, that is a New Game Plus vanilla Silent Hill 4 item. Or weapon. Most people just don't go through the trouble to do New Game Plus or unlock it, I guess. Andrew, target Andrew. Oh my god. What's so frustrating about Silent Hill 4's controls as well, like, you gotta understand, like, Silent Hill 1 to Silent Hill 2, combat controls and movement and everything progressed. It got better, it got cleaner, it got smoother, where they gave you more options and functionality with the movement and combat and everything. And then from 2 to 3, 3 has like blocking and strafing, and I mean the other ones have strafing too, but it's a lot more usable in like combat situations and stuff in 3. I love the combat and controls in 3. And then 4 is such a fucking huge step back in terms of like just trying to target an enemy that you want to target when there's multiple enemies around. And how long it takes to ready everything. Like, you gotta wait that whole animation before you can start moving again, before you can attack again. Kill him, Eileen. Oh, we might be kind of fucked here. So I might not be able to rely on Eileen. There's a good chance I'm not going to be able to get Eileen to shoot Andrew with her gun. I would have to clear out so many enemies. So instead, let me see if I can use the one candle I've got and just chainsaw Andrew to death. Because at the very least, if I'm fighting Andrew one-on-one, I can just go through here. And we can pull Andrew into this part so that there's not all the other enemies. Yeah, his proximity damage alone is going to do too much without a Saint Medallion before I can pin him. So I've checked. Man, I am racking my brain on item spawns here. I checked the top, everything on the top floor.
So damp and gross here.
I can't. Okay, I've done third floor, I've done second floor, I've done first floor. There was... There was some other items down by where I picked up the shirt. I think there was one item. Check out Silent Hill Memories. Yeah, silenthillmemories.net. Really, really good resource for Silent Hill info. I would recommend it much more over like the wiki and stuff for most things, because you can find a lot of resources for things there. There's model viewers, there's really detailed information on all the version releases, there's lots of screenshots, there's stuff covering like demos and yeah. Pistol bullets, not a Saint Medallion. That was like the last item. Oh, there's an item in here. It was an ampule. That kind of helps. Not really. Look at all these fucking Walters. None of the gum heads are holding weapons. Quadruple? I think there was 5. That looked like 5 Walters, a twin victim, and a gum head. All set on ruining my day. Oh, there is... I can't remember. Can I... But that was a first aid kit. Does stuff re-randomize when I relaunch the game? Because I know your character model re-randomizes, but I don't remember if your items and weapon pickups do. So, first aid kit. We want to see if this item I pick up is a first aid kit or if it changes to something new. Oh hey, we're default Henry. We've gone from beta to default. First aid kit. Sword of Obedience. There's a chance. There's a chance. We just have to keep rebooting the game until that item randomizes into a Saint Medallion. And then I've still got a very difficult fight with Andrew with no handgun. Cheat alert? I mean, it's that or we call it right here and just start a new run. Do we just call this dead and start a new run? Or do we cheat and see if I can get this Saint Medallion? Holy candle. Will I save once I get the right item? If I remember. I probably won't. Think Run's dead? Run's probably dead. I'll give this a couple more tries. And if I don't get a Saint Medallion, we'll start a new run. Oh, what are we predicting? Saint Medallion in 10 tries, starting now? All right. Ten tries. Use your channel points. Am I gonna get the Saint Medallion in 10 tries or not? Try number 1. Starting now. Bullets. Gamba time. Try number 2. First aid kit. Rando setup seems to call for so many possible soft locks. Andrew DeSalvo's like one of the only real issues in the entire run. This section right here is basically it. There's not a whole lot of issues with soft lock. Most, like, because all the key items are not randomized. Number 3, healing item for Eileen. But yeah, having to deal with Andrew when you don't have pistol, silver bullet, and sword of obedience is rough. Very rough. And again, even if you don't have a silver bullet, you can still do it with like Saint Medallions, Holy Candles, and a lot of patience. First aid or health drink. That was attempt 4. Number 5. Come on, medallion. Papa needs a new Saint Medallion. Although, now that I know this trick, theoretically, I could just like re-randomize a golf club until it turns into a pistol or something earlier on. Eileen healing item. Although that takes away a lot of the fun. A lot of the point of the randomizer. Just kind of dealing with what you've been dealt. But I'm gonna be as tenacious as I can. This is the one area where it's like, okay. Otherwise, you just get to Water Prison 2, you don't have the 3 items that you need. And just to do it easily anyway. And then you just quit. Pistol bullets. Speedrunner always finds tricks. Trust me, I wish speedrunners had a way to skip Andrew DeSalvo. Was it Revolver? It was a stack of 6, wasn't it? Not 9. It was the different bullet type. Hey Vivies, welcome. Ampule. Goodbye scam points. We still got a couple left. What are we trying to do? I am in the middle of a Silent Hill 4 randomizer playthrough. We're at a point in the game where basically if I do not have a Saint medallion in my inventory, I can't really even try to progress. It's not even a guarantee that I can progress, but I can't even try if I don't have a Saint medallion. And I figured out that if I quit and reload the game, it'll re-randomize this one item that I keep picking up over and over to see if I get the Saint medallion that I need. And if I don't get it in the next couple of tries, then we're just going to start over from the beginning. Holy candle. Last chance here. Leaving a guaranteed Saint medallion. I mean, again, it takes away some of the fun of the randomizer idea. Like, because it's like, oh, if you're going to do that, why not just guarantee a pistol and a silver bullet and, you know, a sword of obedience? At that point, just, I don't know, don't play a randomizer. Let's say it's 8. Did we lose count? This is the last try. I'm tired of resetting. So if this is not a Saint medallion, run's dead. There you go. Pistol bullets. Rest in peace, randomizer run. We hardly knew ye. Rest in peace, scam points, and everybody who lost them. All right, new run. New game. New game plus. Hard mode. Nurse Eileen. Everybody wants to watch all the cutscenes again, right? Hey, what's up, Pythonicus? How are we doing, well, man? At least you get to watch from the start. Sure, the others might not be happy though. That's fine. This is the nature of doing super hard randomizer challenge runs. Sometimes you just can't finish those runs. Everything is random. What happened? Why restart? Can't get past Andrew. Don't have enough damage. Don't have enough healing. Don't have a Saint Medallion to prevent proximity damage from ghosts. Don't have a pistol to use silver bullets. Just fucked. Pythonicus, thank you so much for the Prime resub, man. Welcome back. 31 months. Thank you, thank you. It was hard enough for you to complete Silent Hill 4 normally, would suffer some more on a randomizer. I have been playing Silent Hill 4 for basically 20 years now. Speedrunning it, doing story playthroughs and stuff on Twitch. And I still have issues with this game. This is one of the most difficult Silent Hill games. It is very unforgiving in a lot of sections, even without the randomizer. Then adding the randomizer and stuff on top of it. It's pretty rough. I'm gonna be real, random damage values seem fun in theory, but kind of garbage in reality. I don't know, I think it's kind of fun. I like no lower jaw Henry.
Oh, man.
Looks like he's got like a weird
What a
pompadour. I
dream.
think it's his shoes. It's the front of his shoe is on his forehead. Shoe on head. Oh yeah, avoiding damage in Silent Hill 4, especially, again, once you start dealing with ghosts, you just have to be near them. Yeah, his hand is all fucking weird. Oh. Does he have two? He has extra hands. I think the beta model and the default model
Hello?
are like layering over each other.
What?
He's got extra hands inside of his hands.
The cord's cut.
This is some AI bullshit. All right, let's see what our first randomized weapon is. We got our chocolate milk and is that chainsaw? Hell yeah. Chainsaw in the fridge. Let's go. It's a cool weapon. God. The chilled saw. That's how they get rid of overheat. That's what Behavior did. They took Hillbilly's chainsaw and put it in the fridge.
What the hell? What's going on here?
That's Eileen Galvin from next door.
Oh man. Hope my luck changes before the party.
Stupid. Run died. Run died, Christophonics. Died at Andrew. The messed up models look like something John Carpenter Thing Monster would form. Look at the reflection here in the bathroom, though. The model looks fine. For whatever reason, the reflection in this mirror always shows the model correctly. Even though the actual model or the cutscene is fucked up.
Somebody in there?
What happened to Henry's model? So this is a randomizer. And it randomizes enemies, items, weapons, damage values, and your player model, your character model. So Henry will sometimes, instead of being default Henry, this is the beta version of Silent Hill 4, the original Henry model from pre-release versions. So that's why he's got a brown shirt, and like different clothes, little different model. You can also play as Eileen or Nurse Eileen. And it randomizes whenever you quit and restart the game. But none of those models are made to work in the cutscene animation skeletons. So whenever it swaps out a model for a different model during cutscenes, it looks all fucked up and weird. His little fucking stump legs. His stumpy feet. Yeah, it does kind of look like Mickey Mouse ears. He's got something on his head. And he does have something on his head. He has the front half of his feet. Hey, Christophonics, thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate the support. Big 17 months. Thank you. Yeah, we got our golf club. Golf club sticking out of the hole in the wall. Random enemies. Walter spawns as the first enemy. That is entirely possible. Look at the hands. I can't not see the hands now.
What the hell?
Fucking 18 fingers of death.
Who are you?
Hey, Xanthia.
What's your name?
Meow, meow, meow.
Henry. And you?
This is my my dream and you don't even know my name. It's Cynthia.
Your dream.
People being,
That's right.
yeah, I'm like waiting for
This
chat
is
response.
just a dream.
People being like, what the fuck?
And a really
This is not a
terrible
mod.
one. I hope I wake
This
up
is not part of the randomizer. This is an unlockable
think
costume
this
in
is a
Silent Hill
dream,
4.
Well, if it's not a dream, what is it?
Henry is a mod.
I want to get out.
Henry
of here,
being
but
all
I can't find
swapped
the
out
exit.
and weird. But Cynthia's outfit, that's just an unlockable.
Say, will you help me find it? I'm kind of.
He even has the Robbie tattoo on her ass.
I'll do a special favor for you later. It's just a dream, so I
Hey,
might
Tiny
as well
Wolf.
have some fun.
The jiggle. Yeah, the fact they gave jiggle physics. Oh, look! It's Vivi's. I told you. I told you this could very well happen. Very first enemy is Walter Sullivan.
I think I'm gonna puke.
He does look like he has hooves. That's what I was saying when he crawled into the hole in the wall. Stump feet. Because the front half of his feet is on his head. His 36 fingers. Aren't the enemies supposed to be spawned in? Hunter had to change the spawn properties because it was causing a crash. I remember that from the first version of the randomizer. It was just a workaround. Yeah, Walter's just here. It's fine. These are perfectly normal things happening in Silent Hill 4.
What? Another dream. But it seems so real. Or could it be? Was I really inside that woman's dream?
Will Walter stay there, or does the spawn
Oh,
reset
that's
once you
just
come back?
stupid.
No, he stays there.
What am I thinking?
If I quit out of the game completely and then reload, like reboot the game and reload a save, it will change everything up. But otherwise, nope, he'll still be there. Okay, weapon. Invisible weapon. There's a pistol on the floor, but it's not a pistol. Steel pipe. Good. He's handsome.
Where did I put that damn broom? Oh, there it is.
The handyman. The Eileen scene with those hands. Oh god, the hospital scene. The Eileen calm down scene. Oh Jesus. Why is he peeping? That's all he can do. He can't find any other way out of his room.
Where did you go?
Just exploring the
Hurry,
space.
Save me! If you need a token, there's one here.
Okay, let's get our token. There is an item on the other side of the subway up here. We need our Lynch Street coin. Save Cynthia? I wish you could save Cynthia. On this difficulty with this randomizer, even saving Eileen is basically impossible. God damn it. Another Walter. Oh, that one worm did so much damage. Okay, but I've got a holy candle. Walter's probably just gonna kill me. He's not. Now we gotta deal with ghosts. And no health. So they might kill me. There's an item here, but I won't be able to pick it up because I need to just run past these ghosts and hope I don't get proximity damaged. There we go. Same thing. I just need to run. Oh, this is a bad setup. I might get hit. Do it. No, why are they all right here? Yeah, I'm dead. Proximity damage from ghosts is like, with randomized damage especially. Okay. We know there's a holy candle. Oh, man. Is it worth going and getting that holy candle? I'm gonna leave it. If it was a saint medallion or a silver bullet, something important. Okay, this time I'm gonna risk some proximity damage to pick up this item over here. Oh my god. At least I thought there was an item here. Is that not till later? Oh, I'm thinking of Subway World 2. I thought that item spawned first time around. It's not until second time. do it. Don't kill me. I wonder if Konami's marketing is aware of these plays, like is aware of my stream, my playthroughs. There are people, Silent Hill developers. I don't know about necessarily people straight from Konami or active at Konami, but like one of the producers for Silent Hill Ascension, at the very least watches my YouTube, possibly my Twitch. The Silent Hill 3 background artist, Hiro Usuda, was here watching my channel on Saturday. So, a member of Team Silent was here watching on Saturday. But I don't know about Konami marketing or anything. Saint Medallion. But yeah, Hiro Usuda, who is the background artist for Silent Hill 3 and this game, Silent Hill 4. So a lot of these backgrounds, a lot of these locations and stuff where we're going through were done by Hiro Usuda, who was here watching me do randomizers on Saturday. And I'm dead. And I'm dead. Henry's scream is so dramatic. I love his death scream. It's the most emotion you hear out of Henry this entire game. It's his war cry. Show me your war face. Oh, did you see that chunk of damage? Just from fucking ghost farts. Dead. Oh, these ghosts. Randomized ghost proximity damage. Yeah, this is still hard mode. Same settings as last run. New Game Plus, hard mode. Everything that is randomizable is randomized. Witnesses lots of deaths and maintains... Oh, yeah. He sees Cynthia, like... completely fucking shredded by Walter. And he's like, "Are you okay?" But then when he's dying... Go in the train. Oh. Don't know if you played Fallout 2, but it feels the same. You try to move and RNG kills you off nowhere. I have played Fallout 2. It's been a long time, but yep. XCOM. It's like playing XCOM. That's where a lot of my patience for brutally hard randomizer type things comes from. Oh, I took some damage but survived. Look at the pixel.
Cynthia.
Well, time to go back to the room. Save. Heal. Yeah. Cynthia? Where did she go? Just need to let my health regenerate here. It's going to be a minute.
And next, we'll be taking a look at the weather. Tonight, we can expect scattered clouds clearing by morning. Tomorrow looks to be quite a nice day with warm and sunny weather continuing through the evening, and the weekend we can expect more of the same. So I hope you all get out there and enjoy your weekend.
I like that that's part of the subtitles. And, yeah, got the weather. In case of no healing items, chill in your room. For the first half of the game, you can chill in your room. Works IRL too. Bleeding to death, hang out in your room. Unlock that. This should be our Saint medallion. Since we might never see one ever again, I'm gonna try to conserve this for Andrew just in case.
I found the exit. Come to the turnstile.
This dog not being randomized is actually kind of bad.
Come to the turnstile. Hurry! Hurry!
Oh, it's gonna eat the other dog. You see it circling the other sniffer? It wants to eat it. There's actually an animation with sniffer dogs where they'll eat other dead ones. Oh man, I'm getting absolutely destroyed. What is this, fog? Or are we in Silent Hill? That's another part of the randomizer mod. They, as an option, just as a extra visual setting, you can turn on some extra fog. So I have it enabled. Time to chill in the room again. Get our health back. that away. Like I said, I might need... That might be my one and only Saint Medallion. Imagine a one-hit kill Walter. As in, Walter can one-hit kill me? Again, damage is randomized. That's a thing. Can definitely happen. I won't be able to one-shot him, though. The damage I do is not randomized. Richard Braintree's sitting over there. Okay, I need to try and pick up this weapon in the subway. There's a weapon in this train car. Could be the pistol. It is the aluminum bat. Oh, that fucking damage. Oh, perfect. Ampule. Hitbox. Oh, he spanked me so hard I died. Ah. Well, I don't need to go get the bat. Jesus. No, I thought I could make it. We made it. Okay, there is an item right over here. Sword of Obedience. That's huge. Ampule, so that I don't fucking die immediately. Nora, thank you for the 25 bits. Would be funny if your model rando into and then I'm the final boss rando into Henry. What? Thank you for the bits.
Are you okay?
I feel like I had a stroke. Trying to read that.
It's just a dream, right? I think
Hey,
I
Wooksy.
drank too
Welcome.
much last night.
Yeah, had too much to drink.
That special favor for you.
Shoehead.
I
They're his bunny ears.
Okay. It's just a dream.
That was probably an interesting day in the studio. After this, she rushed off to do ratatouille. Yeah, Lisa Ortiz. Did we figure out that was the production date? Ratatouille was like right after Silent Hill 4? I don't know. Something like that. Hey, Headmaster Kuma, welcome. What the fuck have I arrived on? Welcome to Silent Hill 4 Randomizers.
Cynthia.
Cynthia.
Man, what's that noise out there?
Keep thinking she was also set to start recording for Slayer's R, but that didn't come out for like another 2 years, or is my timeline completely off? Slayer's R was English dub older than 2004? Silent Hill 4 is 2004. And she probably would have recorded for it in 2003. Really enjoyed the credits music at the end of Short Message, too. Appreciated the classic guitar callback. Oh, all the music for Short Message was great. It's still Akira Yamaoka. But yeah, that credits song was definitely Yamaoka's, like... He worked in all these little motifs. Ratatouille was 2007. Slayer's R was also 2007. Short Message wasn't short. I don't know. I can beat it in like 30 minutes.
Hurry up and get that ambulance. Quit
Pretty short.
yapping and move her already. Damn. She's got numbers carved into her chest.
What I want to say, if your model swapped into Walter during the final boss, and Walter changed into Henry. Okay, so like we swap places. Yeah, for right now, your character model can only be Henry, Beta Henry, Purple Dress Eileen, or Nurse Eileen. Eventually, some other playable character models are supposed to be added, but it's only one person, you know, Hunter, working on this mod pretty much in spare time. So I don't expect any updates anytime soon. It's pretty cool. Need a drink or anything? Could you bring me a tea? Be awesome. My throat is starting to get all sorts of fucked. Speaking about short message, what did you guys think of it? The visuals were nice, the audio was good. Masahiro Ito did a great job with the creature design, and environments and stuff looked good. Music and soundtrack was good. I just didn't care for the story very much. The gameplay as well. The chase segments, insta-death chase segments with running around trying to find photos. Not a fan of that kind of gameplay. Not a fan of the way the story was told. I think it had the best of intentions. It just wasn't as fleshed out as it really could have been, but you know, it's a little free thing on PS5. For what it is, it's fine. But as a Silent Hill game, it's got nothing to do with Silent Hill. Silent Hill is mentioned twice. Once in the title and once in a note. And the note is very, we'll say, questionable in the way it's presented. Like, it throws into question a lot of previously established things with Silent Hill, so yeah. For what it was, I think it was fine. As a Silent Hill game, it's extremely lacking and basically unrelated. Short message seemed neat for what they tried to do. They said it was a short project to jumpstart their creative flow. Well, I mean, if you're going by what Hexadrive said themselves, they originally were working with Konami to pitch a Silent Hill 2, their version of a Silent Hill 2 remake, when Konami was still going around to different developers for someone to make the Silent Hill 2 remake. They wound up giving it to Bloober Team, but Supermassive Games had also been in the bid to do the Silent Hill 2 remake, and Hexadrive was in the bid to do the Silent Hill 2 remake. Hexadrive made a little gameplay sample for their version of the Silent Hill 2 remake, and Konami didn't want to do that because they were giving it to Bloober, but they still wanted Hexadrive to make something for them in the Silent Hill series. So they had them do Short Message. I got hit by 2 bugs and died. We're going to be here for a little while. This bug gauntlet with randomized damage. Need to pick this up just to at least see what it is. Okay, it's just revolver bullets. Okay, so we can skip that item. I don't think we'll really need. Don't think we'll really need it. Mostly been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I've got my sealed physical copy of Rebirth sitting 3 feet in front of me, just waiting to be opened and played. Eventually I'll get to it. Oh, getting half my health. And bug in my butt. I died to a bug in my butt. It's good and emotionally damaging, at least for me, but yeah. I love me some Final Fantasy VII. Aside from just horror, I mentioned earlier I was kind of talking about growing up being a little horror fan from a young age. But I was also just a nerd in general, and I also liked fantasy, you know, Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. So Final Fantasy, you know, I've fucking played the original on NES, and then 2 and 3 on Super Nintendo, 4 and 6, and then yeah, the jump to PlayStation with Final Fantasy VII. I can remember. Keep in mind, 1990s. This would have been 1997 when, before Final Fantasy VII came out, but when the demo was out. There used to be a chain of video game stores where I grew up in Austin, Texas, called Game Fellas. And I can remember being like 9 years old, going to Game Fellas with my mom, and I would just sit there and play the Final Fantasy VII demo, that first reactor mission, just like over and over. But yeah, very big Final Fantasy fan as well. I'm looking forward to playing Rebirth. I've seen a little bit of it through friends' streams and stuff like that. Looks really good. Sword of Obedience. Walter's running around crazy. Son of a bitch, I was so close. If I could have made it to this next room, I would have saved. This is such a rough gauntlet of so many enemies. So many things that can just fucking kill you with random damage. From this save point to the next save point. And so much of it is these bugs that are like impossible to really dodge. Not like consistently. Playing Rebirth right now, I love it. I'm about to end the stream and go play it myself. This randomizer is really really not giving me any breaks. Danger, do not enter. Yeah, you got that right. No. Ooh. You fuck. Thank you. Kill it. Kill it. No. Get back on the ground. That Henry during cicada season. Yeah. In this randomizer, are there ghosts that show up too? The ghosts are not randomized. We got a torch. Funny enough. Forest World, but not second time. Killable enemies are, and Walter. Walter is not killable, but he is in the randomized enemy pool. Any enemy in the game can be replaced with Walter. There he is. Okay, finally made it through that part of the gauntlet. Let's go save. We need a 10 Walter room. We've already had a 5 Walter room. 5 was bad enough. On the last attempt, we had one room that, and it's a small room, with 5 Walters, 1 Gumhead, and 1 twin victim. Why the fuck this nub trauma exists, I wonder? Because it's Silent Hill Ascension. It's trauma. It's literally a sticker that you can get in Silent Hill Ascension. I know that. Okay. Well, that's why it's an
Little
emote.
boy, what are you doing here?
You're finally the third revelation. Something's gonna happen. That nosy guy that was here, he said it too. Something big is gonna happen. Finally, it's gonna happen!
Back here, you little kid. No items in graveyard first time, right? It always throws me off because Henry's head starts turning around as though he's looking at an item, but he's just looking at the writing. Don't do it. Shit. Enjoy the chocolate milk.
Oh man, that was awesome. Here, take this. There's something written on it.
And thanks for the shovel. Thank you for not just handing it to me. Love how in the cutscene Henry's not in the frame at all. Oh yeah, because that moment is not about Henry. That is about a man and his love for chocolate milk. Henry's not even part of the equation. Wow, wow. Damn it. Golf clubs. I always get so many golf clubs early in the runs. Come on. I mean, at least I got a chainsaw this time around. I had like no weapons on the last run. Or I had one. I had the silver pipe. And then just golf clubs. At least this time I got the chainsaw earlier. Save it. The randomizer have a quality of life setting to delete broken golf clubs automatically? Nope. Absolutely not. And all the golf clubs seem to break in one hit. I don't know if that's just like a weird thing with the randomizer, but anytime I've gotten golf clubs and tried to use them, they break on one hit. Like as soon as I hit something with it, it breaks. Go. Come on, Jasper. Let's go to a barbecue.
I finally met him! The one the nosy guy talked about! The devil!
A special news report. In a forest near Silent Hill, the burned corpse of a 30-year-old male was discovered earlier today. The police have ruled it a homicide and are investigating. The numbers 17121 were reportedly carved into the man's body. Due to the marks on the victim, The police are investigating possible links to the Walter Sullivan case 10 years
This must be
ago.
that Silent Hill phenomenon everyone's talking about. The hole has changed again, and I can hear children's voices. Never something you want to hear. Does anyone else chug a liter of chocolate milk every time Jasper dies? Hell no. I am lactose intolerant. Look at all them hands, boy. What you gonna do with all them hands and no chin? This is how my cats yell at 4 in the morning. Oh! Get me out of here! Oh, another, sort of obedience. I kind of need to take my time and pick up, like, everything in Water Prison. Although I think I did last run too, and it still didn't help much. Nope. No thank you. Get me ouch. Get me ouch. Go save. Wonder if the stun gun spawn has anything good? Possibly. I mean, any weapon spawn could be something good, or a golf club. Just got Silent Hill 1 through 3, cleaned, no scratches on it now from a gaming store last week. Nice, Kev. Don't mind if they want to explore having Silent Hill games outside of Silent Hill. Be interesting to see if they can make it work. I think if they handled the Silent Hill phenomena, could make things interesting if they put effort into making it fit with how the town works. Being able to happen anywhere now. That's the thing. This game, Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 4 already sort of explore the idea of Silent Hill things happening outside of the town. In 3, you start the game in Portland. You're not in Silent Hill. So eventually you go to Silent Hill and resolve things. The game obviously still ties back to it, revolves around it. But the whole first half of Silent Hill 3, before you know who Heather is, before you even realize that it's a Silent Hill 1 sequel, because remember, like, that's a reveal that happens, like, kind of midway through the game. So, like, all of that happens, and then Douglas and Heather drive to Silent Hill to go put a stop to what's going on. So 3 starts off, you know, the mall and all of that happening. That's not in Silent Hill. That's already stuff happening outside of the town. Because Heather is a reincarnation of Alessa. She has a god. She basically has a piece of the town with her through that god that's growing inside of her. So stuff can still happen as long as Heather's around. And that's the thing, is like, I don't mind the games exploring space and having stories happen away from the town itself, but there needs to be something that still relates back to them. My problem with things like Ascension taking place in Hope's Junction and Stilldalen, it's in Norway, it's in Pennsylvania, is that you never have any character say, oh, I was born in Silent Hill, I'm from there. You know, they never set up any kind of connection to the town itself. It doesn't even need to be anything that substantial at this point. Just someone was from there. Fuck, Henry in this game, this game's protagonist is not from there. He just visited. He went there once and took pictures because he's a photographer. That's it. That's his entire connection to the town, other than living in room 302, you know, unfortunately. So, I don't know, like, the idea of telling stories of things going on outside of the town, I think, is fine. Just have a meaningful way to tie it back to the town. That's all I ask. Because without that, why call it Silent Hill at all? Just make it a standalone psychological horror game. There's no reason for it to be part of this franchise if it doesn't have anything to do with the titular town. Really want to see more on Silent Hill F project. Doesn't seem to be connected to the US town, but what if it goes into the origins of the cultist beliefs? I mean, there's still so much to speculate on what that could potentially be. There's already a lot of fan theories, including some of my own, circulating around with Silent Hill F, especially with Short Message having a theme of cherry blossoms and flowers, and Silent Hill F showing similar themes. Short Message tells a little backstory of Maya, a Japanese character of Japanese descent, who had like a great grandmother who was thought of as a witch. You know, so there's elements of that in Short Message. And if you're going back to that great grandmother being a, you know, a witch or a, you know, shaman or whatever, back in Japan in the 60s, or she was like in the 30s or born in the 30s, so she would have been in her mid 30s in the 60s when Silent Hill F takes place. Timelines. But all of that said, it's just speculation. Like, but there is somewhat of a setup through Short Message for stuff going on in Japan a long time ago. That they may try to tie into Silent Hill F. Can't think of another franchise that carries itself in name only, although I don't doubt it exists. I'm sure someone will think of something. Castlevania. I mean, most of them are about Dracula's castle. At least in some small way. Final Fantasy? I mean, that's a pretty obvious one. I'd say the fantasy aspect is pretty consistent throughout. Definitely not final. considering there's now 16 mainline games and what, like 27 if you count all the sequels and spin-offs and weird stuff. Genuinely, why did they think that that name was a good idea again? Because they were about to go out of business. Square was literally about to go out of business. Final Fantasy, that RPG was supposed to be their last project before the studio went bankrupt. So they called it Final Fantasy. And it saved their fucking company. Clearly. So that game that they thought would be their final game wound up not being their final game, and they made 30 more, and they're still making them. We'll just have to see what they do with Silent Hill going forward. Unfortunately, we have an idea of that. Here's the thing. We have statements from people like Motoi Okamoto and a lot of the CEOs of these dev companies that are working on new games, whether it's Bloober or Genvid or, you know, any of these. All of them are under the direction of producer Motoi Okamoto. And Motoi Okamoto's direction for the franchise is, we want that Resident Evil money. So, in his eyes, the way that Resident Evil, you know, broke away from zombies and the Spencer Mansion and Raccoon City, he feels like Silent Hill can branch out and do other weird things outside of Silent Hill, even though those two concepts are not even remotely comparable. But that is what the mindset of the producer thinks. Like that's what they've said. So the direction for the franchise going forward is to have less and less to do with the town and more to do with being kind of general I gotta do all this again. General psychological horror. They're going for more wide appeal, less of a niche market. They're testing the waters with remakes. If Silent Hill 2 Remake does well enough, they'll consider probably throwing a lot of time and effort into that, since that's been a successful business plan for Capcom. Glad Resident Evil's going strong. The series is one of the best moments now. Awesome game, one after another. I gotta say, like, games like Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8, they definitely didn't feel like classic Resident Evil games. But unlike Silent Hill, where you've got like the Team Silent games and then the games that come after it, and there's a very clear distinction of, like, in terms of quality, like the direction of the games changed, but the quality of the games didn't really drop. That's a big difference. They took them in like an action-y direction and campy, and did a little bit more different things with the overall package of Resident Evil, but the quality of the games never really felt like it took a huge dip. With Silent Hill, like, you feel kind of that quality dip with Origins, Homecoming, Shattered Memories, Downpour, Book of Memories, Ascension. Short Message is, like, decent. Like, that's finally kind of pulling it back. But yeah, it's a very different thing with like Resident Evil, where the classic games, even though they're very different from like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 and like Code Veronica, those games versus Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, which are kind of their own thing, and then 7 and 8, which is kind of like the new style. And then remakes. Each one of those sort of generations, eras of Resident Evil game are still good. To me, classic Resident Evil might not feel the same as action-y Resident Evil, but both are fun, entertaining experiences. For the most part. Didn't RE6 sell the most? It might be 7 or 8 now. I think for a time 6 was the best selling. I really didn't like 6. I know a lot of other people didn't like 6 either, but all of this stuff. No items. Yeah, that's a lot of twin victims. A very small space. 6 is a good co-op game. I find that's really it. And maybe that's the problem. I've never really played 6 co-op. I played 5 co-op and I love 5. And it's one of those games where I don't like playing that game solo. But it's a fun co-op game. So if you've got someone to play it with, you have a good time. So 6 is probably in that kind of vein as well. I've just never had the opportunity to play 6 with anybody. You say Resident Evil Golden Age was 1 through 5, Silver 7 to now, and Bronze everything between 5 and 7. I don't know. I am more partial to original, like, Resident Evil games. Code Veronica. A lot of people will probably be like, what, really? But, like, Code Veronica is probably my favorite Resident Evil game. I don't know. RE2, classic RE2 is also way up there. But I really love Code Veronica. I cannot tell you. I was damaging the disc I was playing it so much on Dreamcast back in the day that I wound up burning copies of it so that I wouldn't have to use the actual disc.
Who is that boy? And who are you?
His name's Walter.
Really liked Outbreak. Outbreak and Outbreak File 2 were so much fun.
I used to work at the orphanage watching the kids. I'm Andrew DeSalvo. They tried to make it seem like an orphanage, but according to that town's holy scriptures, it was actually the center of their religion. And that kid Walter, he was really into that mumbo jumbo. Especially that descent of the Holy Mother business. It was scary. Oh, God. Oh my God.
What was it about Code Veronica you liked?
Oh my God.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think so much of it also has to do with kind of when it came out and that point in my life. Oh God. Twin victims. Move. Oh. I'll just have to stream Code Veronica at some point and give my thoughts on it. It's been a while. It's been too long since I've done a playthrough. Where does this put me? so brutal. Okay. I'm getting caught up in our conversations and not paying attention to the run, and I should be saving as I make these little steps of progress, and I'm not. Hey, apple pie ice cream, welcome. Oh, my controller's freaking out. Hope to get a PC soon so you can play Silent Hill. Unfortunately, having a PC is like one of the easiest ways to access the series these days, because you have to pirate or emulate just about everything if you don't want to spend an arm and a leg on physical copies that are out of print. Sad but true. Video game preservation is important. Konami has all the resources available to have fully available versions on modern hardware for every single game in the Silent Hill franchise. It is well within their capabilities. And they don't do it. They don't do it. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the failure of HD collection. They probably misconstrued the poor sales of HD collection as being fans must not want these old games anymore, because all they look at is the raw sales data, not the customer feedback, not the complaints about the issues and the changes and all of that stuff. Konami probably just put out the collection and then saw bad sales numbers. So the higher ups are just like, guess you guys don't want these classic ones. Okay, I did already pick up all the stuff. They really think that's why the HD collection failed? They're a bunch of big stupid heads. I mean, unfortunately, that's just kind of the way it is for a lot of, you know, companies in general. The higher up you get, to the people who are making the major business decisions and things like that, if all they're going off of is some data, and they're sort of out of touch with the actual fans of the game and the feedback from things like that. Like, some companies are more in tune with that than others. Some developers and publishers are more in tune with their fan base than others, and they actually respond to that kind of feedback. Capcom, as you know, Capcom, there's no perfect in this world, right? There's no such thing as perfection. There's no perfect game developer out there. But I will say there's a lot of things that Capcom does right. And I think Capcom does a pretty good job responding to fans and changing things based on fan feedback. They clearly look at more than just data, more than just sales numbers. Konami feels like a very strictly, like, they do much more than just game publishing. Konami is a big multi-conglomerate that does all sorts of things. They own like health spas and gyms and gambling halls and stuff in Japan. Obviously, they make gambling machines, slot machines, not just pachinko machines and stuff for Japan, but like slot machines for the US, and they do a lot of other stuff outside of just published games. So when you have higher ups who are like focused on all these other aspects, they're trying to look at this much larger picture as a company that does all of these different things. Konami just kind of like loses the ability to keep in touch when it comes to like the fans. So that, I think, kind of puts them in a situation where a lot of people on the Konami side of things are basically going off of data. They're just looking at sales numbers and marketing sheets and stuff. Oops. Is a single member of Team Silent or anyone from the classic era even an employee anymore? Doubt. Are you kidding? Silent Hill: The Short Message had like 15 people on it that are from original Silent Hill games or worked on PT. You had Masahiro Ito doing the creature design, Akira Yamaoka doing music. They might not be Konami employees strictly, because a lot of them are working as independent contractors for Konami, but still, splitting hairs. Also, we finally got through Water Prison. Oh my god. Here's a challenge, Red. Silent Hill HD collection. Reset every time a glitch happens. We wouldn't make it past the first screen. Literally in the opening shot, there's a glitch. Or I guess it would depend on what you call a glitch. What you would define as a glitch. But the opening shot in the bathroom at the very start, the camera starts at the top left, it starts panning down to the bottom left behind a urinal, and they didn't extend out the texture for the model for that urinal. So there's just a big gap where you can see the wall behind it, where part of the model is just not there. Like immediately, there's something wrong with the HD collection. So if you just define errors as being glitches, then there would be no progression whatsoever. You miss Takayoshi Sato? Go play Luigi's Mansion 3? I think, or whatever the newest Luigi's. I know he works on the Luigi's Mansion games and something else. But he's mostly with Nintendo now. Definition of glitch, Silent Hill HD collection. There we go. There's a YouTube video idea. Dissect the HD collection. The analysis of a glitch. What even is a glitch? forgetting to record one of the lines for Silent Hill 2 with the new VAs. Yeah, either forgot to record it or just forgot to put the audio file in the game. One of the main guys behind Silent Hill 1 was responsible for the Siren games. Fuck. Yeah, Keiichiro Toyama, who's got his own studio, Bokeh Games. But he did the Siren games. He did Gravity Rush. And he's currently working on Slitterhead.
Ouch! Damn it. Where the hell am I? You're a real person.
Ouch. Hey, Demeter.
Hey.
Just in time for Richard Braintree.
Yeah.
Shatter his tailbone and just say ouch.
I'm Richard Braintree from 207. What the hell's happened to us? That whole...
Tried playing Siren 1, went to YouTube to get some tips and left even more confused. That's kind of how the Siren games feel. I 100% feel you on that one. I struggle with those games. They're good games, like they're really well done.
That must explain what happened to that other guy, too.
But they're weird. They're very unintuitive and pretty difficult because of that.
In 302 before you. A journalist. He disappeared one day. He got pretty crazy towards the end. Shut himself up in his room and wouldn't come out.
Hey, quit talking bad about me, Braintree.
Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. You should too, if you know what's good for you.
Wait. Watch out for that kid.
That fucking line. Something about that line delivery always cracks me up. Watch out for that kid. Give me your ghost key. Oh, I need to see what this item is. It's an ampule. Fuck it. Unfortunately, now we have to deal with another ghost. And no sane medallion. The sight jack mechanic is great. It's a cool idea. But I don't know. I struggle with like rapidly changing perspectives like that. Health drink. Okay. We get a weapon here. Ooh, the gold pipe. It looks snazzy, but it's not strong at all. Well, maybe I can sell it. It's the same item description that it has in Silent Hill 3. So this is one of the added weapons in the Randomizer mod. This is not a weapon that's normally in Silent Hill 4. It's from Silent Hill 3. And the golf club. Normally this is a 5-iron. Now it's re-randomized to an 8-iron. Ooh. Let's go save. Whoops. I finally found an honest man. Or if you're playing the HD collection, I have finally found an honest person. Hate immortal enemies, though. It's why I still dread playing Silent Hill 4. Yeah. Ghosts are a pain in the ass. Imagine also having randomized damage applied to their damaging aura effect. And they can just murder you for existing near you and never be killed. Oh my god, the worm. The toadstool popping up like perfectly in the aisle. Oh my god, get the key. Controls. The bug flew into my head and killed me. No, the cat food. With a picture of a beagle on the box. Assume the ending you're most likely to get on the randomizer is the bad ending or whatever it's called. Yeah, there's no guarantee that you're going to get enough items to cleanse the room. And because of the randomized damage, Eileen is basically guaranteed to take a full possession worth amount of damage. So you're pretty much on this, you know, series of settings always going to get the worst ending. Or at least most of the time. I guess theoretically you could get very lucky and wind up with a bunch of room cleansing items. And at least, because what is it? If you don't cleanse the room and you don't save Eileen, it's the 21 Sacraments ending. If you cleanse the room but don't save Eileen, it's just called Eileen's Death. Leave me alone, Walter. Sir Il Palazzo, is there hard data on the room cleansing requirements like there is for the Silent Hill 2 endings? I don't think it's like... There might be. There might be. If there is, I don't have it like bookmarked or saved like I do for the Silent Hill 2 ending guide by Jokey. But I wouldn't be surprised if someone out there has that. But like the room cleansing requirements, it's just like a percentage. Basically, you need to cleanse like, I think it's 70% of the hauntings. So let's say you get 10 hauntings over the course of a playthrough. As long as you've cleansed 7,
you look a lot like a little punk that I once caught.
That's usually enough to guarantee that the room counts as cleansed.
Hey, you! Stop!
But sometimes you can go to the room, like there's a lot of times where I'll just go to the room, save, drop inventory, and leave. I won't check every room, so there could be other hauntings going on. And I could be missing them and not realizing that I'm not cleansing enough. That becomes the most difficult thing, is keeping track of the when there's a haunting happening. And there is a nice way to do that not a lot of people might be aware of. In fact, I'm going to go back and show you. So if you're in your apartment and you're not sure if there is a haunting or not,
And now the news.
Check your radio.
In Washington, a gathering of
Now, obviously, I'm still in the first half of the game,
gun control laws in the wake of a spate of violent shootings throughout the
so
country.
there's not hauntings and stuff happening yet, so we're still getting normal radio.
2 people were killed and several wounded, including a 3-year-old child. At this moment, no suspects have been found. Police are investigating the source of the shots.
Damn. These radios, the radio calls, broadcast, whatever. But yeah, so first half of the game, you'll get broadcasts and you'll get static. After a while, second half of the game, if there is no haunting, when you turn the radio on, it'll just click and it won't make any noise. If there is a haunting somewhere in the apartment, it'll do static. Oh, there goes Andrew. His head went floating by the window. So yeah, if it's the second half of the game, you come up over here and check your radio and it's going off. That means that there is a haunting somewhere in your apartment. So if you're just sitting on a bunch of saint medallions and holy candles, and you're trying to make sure you're getting a good ending, or you're trying to make sure that you at least clear a certain percentage of hauntings, and you don't want to make sure you're not missing them while you're in the room, check your radio. It works just like radio in Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3. Radio gives off static when there's monsters around. In this case, it's hauntings, but... And you don't take the radio with you. Look at this fucking bug just sitting on the key. Fucking camper. Sorry, I realized I just peaked my mic. Like leaning forward and yelling in everybody's ears. Getting upset. Can't handle these campers. Let me save again now that I've done that. I may have to call this soon. My throat is like kind of giving out. You give my voice a rest. I don't know why I've been having so much trouble with my voice and my throat lately. In fact, since my throat's hurting, we just gotta save. I'll probably call it here. Call it here for now. But thank you all so much for coming by, hanging out. I'll probably do some more randomizer runs at some point. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see if we can finish this one up. I still want to try and do a short message story playthrough sometime soon-ish. So we'll try and do that. But otherwise, yeah, I'll probably be back sometime tomorrow.